Alright, this is exercise video number 12, and for my activity today, I ran 2 miles with a pace of 8 minutes and 37 seconds. And so to relate this activity to what we're learning about right now in XPhys, so running 2 miles is predominantly a glycolytic system, right? So all three systems are definitely running, however, the predominant system was definitely glycolysis. And so during my run, I started out kind of slow, kind of more like a jog, and then slowly, gradually increasing speed, and towards the end, I was running much faster than when I started. And this is because I didn't want to fatigue myself very quickly towards the beginning of my exercise in order to spare my carbs, in order to work my way up to those fast twitch fibers and allow myself to not get fatigued. And so in the beginning, likely my slow twitch type 1 fibers were mostly engaged and burning mostly fat. And then towards the end of that activity, I was able to spare my carbs so that I could increase speed and not fatigue before the end of my activity. And so I increased from type 1 fibers to type 2 fibers, type 2X, towards the end of my activity. And that is Henneman-Size principle, pretty much. So I moved from smaller motor units to much bigger motor units whenever it was necessary. And since running 2 miles is kind of a high intensity, short duration activity, I was getting a lot of buildup of lactate and hydrogen towards the end of that activity whenever I started to get really fatigued. So at the end of my activity, I reached this really steep hill and I gave up. I had reached my 2 miles. I was like, I'm not running up this hill. And that's likely because I had such a buildup of lactate and hydrogen. I was so fatigued that I just couldn't run anymore, definitely not up a steep hill. And that hydrogen outcompetes calcium on troponin, which calcium binds to troponin and tells trypamyosin to move out of the way so that myosin can grab actin. However, since I had that buildup of hydrogen in my muscles, calcium was not binding to troponin because hydrogen outcompetes calcium. And so my muscles towards the end of my activity weren't able to shorten, therefore I couldn't keep up with the work rate, which is the definition of fatigue.